Hey folks, so this video is going to help you figure out how to determine what the thesis statement is in an academic article, okay? And it's going to be important for you to know how to identify the thesis because it's going to help you understand the rest of the piece, okay? So there are actually 4 different places that you can find this information, okay? The first of these is in the title, okay? So if we were to look at this piece right here, we'd see Susan Bryden's article is titled Men at the Heart of Mothering. So automatically we know that this is about men and mothering and finding Nemo, all right? So that's the first place that you can look, all right? The second place is in the abstract. The abstract, by the way, is this tiny little paragraph right here. So let's look at it. Generally, if there is an abstract, it is going to include the author's central argument. And we can see that here where Bryden says, I argue that this film, Finding Nemo, provides an expanded notion of who mother is and what mothering means. So there's another clue for us, right? So this is about finding Nemo and it's about expanding who a mother is. And we already know that men are part of it. So we're like, I wonder what this is about. Maybe men and mothering, right? So the third place that we can find this information is in the introduction of the academic article. The only difference is that in an academic article, usually the thesis is closer to the end of the introduction, and the introductions tend to be longer. So you're probably going to want to keep in mind that you're going to want to skip to the end of the intro. All right, so that actually happens here on page 2. So let's look at that. So I'm looking at these last sentences right here. And we can see that Bryden says, I find evidence that Disney is, at least on occasion, willing to reconstruct its representation of mothering, not necessarily of what mothering means, but of who can perform it, right? So we can see from this another clue that her piece is about Disney and how it might be reconstructing who can perform mothering, right? So that is our third clue and our third place to find what the thesis might be about. The fourth place that you can find that information is actually in the conclusion of the article. So let's go ahead and get there. All right, so conclusions. All right, so here we are at the conclusion, and we see these sentences right here. Fathers self-report that they suffered inflexibility, opprobrium, or disbelief when others realized they were in charge of their own children, if they were in partnerships and not widowed or divorced. Disney, as a cultural narrator with authority, has the power to facilitate new perspectives on men's mothering if they choose to. As Miller notes, becoming a mother is always more than a biological event. Perhaps men can do it. And boom, now we're kind of seeing what Bryden's central argument is, which is that Disney can shape our understanding of motherhood, and that maybe they need to create some sort of an expansion so that we can understand men as being able to do mothering too. So that's the thesis statement. You just triangulate between 4 different places in an argument, and again, Those places are the title, right? The abstract, the intro, especially towards the end of the intro, and the conclusion. If you triangulate between these 4 places, within a matter of minutes, you will accurately be able to determine what the thesis is. And when you know what the thesis is, you're going to better understand the rest of the article. And that's what we want.